Hey, what's up you guys? It's your boy Josiah's World TV. Welcome back to another video on the YouTube. So today I want to actually present with you a conversation that I had with my good friend who is actually the host of the Well Said podcast, Keya, Collie. Now honey, me and her had a really good discussion about what happened to reality TV. What happened with reality TV? What happened with Love and Hip Hop? Why are these shows really just going down the drain? So I'm actually going to go ahead and just post the video. But make sure you all follow Keya. Alright, let's get into it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Well Said. I'm your host, Keya Collie, and today I have been honored with the guest of Josiah from Josiah's World TV. Welcome back.
Hi, everybody.
So this is episode 9, reality TV, then and now. For any questions or concerns, you can visit my website, keyacollie.com, and be sure to follow myself and Josiah on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So today, I know y'all remember Josiah from Josiah's World TV when we interviewed him last time on the show last season. But this time we're going to just cover some more of your realm. So, reality TV, media, that's more of your thing, right?
Yes, I'm a reality TV junkie.
And that's good. So what year do you think reality TV actually started?
Reality TV has been back since the real world. So back since the early 90s, the real world, and you had like, not the first season was New York, but then you had Los Angeles with Tammy Roman on there. So that goes far so back. So I feel like that has been the birth of reality TV.
Okay, yeah, I was just thinking about that, the real world, and I was thinking about how back then it was more authentic.
Yes.
Because that's what they wanted, more of the younger people's natural reaction to living in a house with other people. And now I think the real world has moved on to online. The show has moved online to streaming, which we went to high school with one of the people who was on the last season, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow, I could not believe Dondre was on there. When I saw him on there, I was like, okay.
Yeah, and it's taking a turn.
Let me not sound like no hater.
But going back to how it was back then, they had these confessions. You know how every reality show has confessionals, and they were so transparent in their confessionals, and they were transparent with their reaction to things on the shows. How do you view what the real world was then versus how they expose reality TV now?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like when it comes to the real world, like it was just so, like you said, authentic, and you saw people natural reactions. Now I feel like reality TV everything is staged, right? Like you have everything staged, from the producers trying to come up with a storyline. When we look at these shows, Love and Hip Hop, Growing Up Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, The Real Housewives, these are stage situations. And what the producers do is they start mess behind the scenes, and then they try to bring the drama in front of it. Or sometimes, such as in No Tea, No Shade to Love and Hip Hop, but everything is staged, honey. It's a ghetto hood soap opera, scripts, lines, and all.
That's right.
So there has been a complete contrast back from the real world back in the 90s to now.
Okay. Because I know a lot of the cast members from the real world, when it got moved to online, I'm not sure what season that was. I didn't even finish watching the season. But a lot of the cast members on there exposed MTV because, for example, Dondre, we went to school with him, right? And do you remember on his Facebook page, he was saying how they painted him to be the Black Republican. They painted this picture of him, this image of him, even though he does have a lot of followers. Now he has a huge following. They painted this picture, and then they had the other guy painted as the Black Renaissance man, whereas Dondre was the Black Republican. So
I can see that.
they did that, but we know him, so it wasn't like,
They
you know,
gave him a bad name.
we knew it was fake, because people who know him personally know that, you know, that sometimes he's, you know, playful, sometimes he's not really like that. So we knew it was an act. But moving on from the real world, I know you mentioned Love and Hip Hop. So which Love and Hip Hop do you think started off the most authentic?
New York season 1. I feel like it was back in 2011 when it aired, and I feel like Mona was trying to bring a new perspective. You had Chrissy, who was Jim Jones' girlfriend. You had Erica, Fabulous girlfriend. You had Olivia from G Unit. You had all these people together, and I feel like it was more. I feel like the first season it was more of like a group of girls. You know how like the Basketball Wives, like where the reality show is centered around a group of friends. That's how the first season of Love and Hip Hop was, New York was. And I feel like that the storylines was so much more authentic than now.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And do you think that maybe they've lost some of their morals along the way of what TV?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just for money. Just for money.
Love and Hip Hop gone so fake, it's to the point where it's predictable. You can see the situations from a mile away. It's like the same recycled storylines within different cast members in different seasons. So with this whole COVID-19 shutting down on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and all these other shows, it needed to, because Mona and them on board and kind of get back to where they first started with their original roots.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree. I think it got a little fake when you know, do you remember when Kimbella was first on the show and she was really small? She was like snatched. She looked like she was about maybe like 20, 21 years old. And then they brought her back, and that's when the whole drama started between she and Yandy over it being fake. It was fake, and Yandy is the one who pointed it out, saying that it was fake. But at the same time, Kimbella pointed it out too, that if you knew it was fake, why would you call me and tell me to show up? Because she did call her. It was all for screen time. Yeah, and so what if something bad would have really happened? Now you put their safety at risk, you know, and you're doing all this for a check, you know. So
that's the bad, and I feel like that's the bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
No, I feel like that's the downfall of reality TV sometimes, because you put in these situations where it's so scripted and it's set up. So let's say me and you are beefing, right? We don't like each other. Like we be, it's like a Nene and Kenya. We go head for head. Every time we see each other, it's on sight. Not fighting, but like the reads and stuff and the shade. So if I have an event that I'm throwing and I invited all my friends and I did not invite you because we're not getting along, what producers would do, honey, is they have everybody has call times to these events, right? Let's say, okay, everybody, hey, you know, all my friends, and then maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes into the event, you pop up. And they could probably tell you, oh, this is just a normal event. You know, they don't have to give you any information.
You have no clue what's going on.
Pop up at the location and you don't know what's going on, and boom, situation. That's how reality TV works.
That is crazy.
For real. Like that's how
they set you up. They set you up, but then they try to make this picture. They try to paint this picture that you're just such a bad person. But the thing is, they set you up for it. Now, getting into that setup, we recently had this whole thing about what's her name? Mimi taking a pay cut. And Mimi did the interview, and she basically said, you know, she's probably not going to be on the show, made these implications that most likely she's not coming back. Now, at what point? See, I agree with her. Not because she doesn't have a storyline, because that's one of the other things that, I mean, they have to cut her pay. She doesn't have a storyline. So if we're going to keep paying you all this money, we're going to have to either make a storyline or you need to come up with something, like give us something that we can put on TV. But another thing is, how much are you willing to get paid before this is just, this is your life. And this is what you've put in front of people's faces for this is going to be forever. We're going to be able to play this back forever. And then your children are going to be able to see it. And then this is the mark that you choose to leave on earth. At what point do you say, like, I'm not going to do it anymore? Mimi, to me, she had a good reason for just not coming back. Her time is up on the show. She knows her time is up, but she's elevated to a whole nother level. If you see her social media, she's doing way more better things with her life than focusing on drama on Twitter, on Instagram, like before. Like season 2, season 3, Mimi would have been chill, but still looking at social media. Now the Mimi now knows that that there's another life. She's always known that there's another life, but now her daughter's at the age where she can soak those things up, and she's thinking about, like, if my mom did that, why can't I do it? Even though it's wrong, why can't I do it? So it's like, now it's time to move on.
I'm happy for Mimi. I'm happy that she realized that this show is beneath her. I feel like Mimi should have left a while ago, a few seasons ago, because, like you said, she hasn't really had a storyline. And sometimes you outgrow the show, and it's okay. And I feel like that other people on that cast needs to go because their storyline has ran up and too fabricated. But that's another story. But I feel like when it comes to Mimi, I'm so shady. Let me stop. I feel like when it comes to Mimi, I'm happy for her because she has finally outgrown the show. Mm-hmm. You can only cut up for so long, hanging on shower rods, to fighting with K. Michelle, to getting in tussles with Hasseline over Stevie J. Like, you can only do so much. So I'm happy that she's able to see that, and she see her work, and she's happy. So now producers are, like you said, like, okay, we have to cut your pay because you're not bringing any drama. But maybe just her real life, she's in a good space. Mm-hmm. But with reality TV, they want you to have some type of drama going on.
Right. And one of the things that...
especially Love and Hip Hop, they will tarnish your brand.
They will tarnish your brand.
Doing 20 on 10. Look at Tia Marie. Girl, her Tia Marie career went out the trash after Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, it was thrown away. We had this image of Tierra Marie, especially when she was signed to... when Jay-Z first signed her, right? We had this image of Tierra Marie, like, she's the sweet yet rebellious girl, and she came out at the perfect time. I mean, we were young, but it was so good to hear that.
It was Tierra Marie, it was A. Marie, and Mariana.
Yeah, and Rihanna.
3 of them came out.
3 of those, they came out around the same time, and it's sad to see that artists and the rappers that just either, flatline or they plateau, and she plateaued, and her only other way to become relevant again and to get her music out again, because that's what I think she got on the show for. I don't think she got on the show to make money. I think she got on the show to market herself. But the painting that they put of her was that she's an alcoholic, she's a firecracker, she's
codependent.
So whereas she could have had, and Tierra Marie can still sing.
She can, yeah.
She can still sing. She still has a bright future ahead of her, but it's just the picture, the image that they put out of her. Who cares anymore? She's a reality TV star. And every time she goes somewhere, they're going to be like, oh, how was rehab? How's this? How's that? How's your drinking going? How'd you get out of that DUI? All that kind of stuff is going to come back. It's followed her. you know. And then you had to think about the
And
psychological effects that it's put on these people too. 'Cause I think at first reality TV, it was just, and plus they weren't even getting paid that much, so it was what it was. Now it's just like, you want me to act a fool? I need to get paid.
nah, I'm
So
not gonna lie. Like, I wouldn't mind getting on reality TV, but y'all, I know how they already gonna edit me. They're gonna edit me messy AF. That messy friend that just spills all the tea
the Jason
and who
Lee,
always in somebody's business. And Jason Lee, they're gonna, and you already listen. We know our conversations, and I know I can be shady. I try not to be, but it just comes out, and I could just already see myself cutting up on reality TV. So I'd rather not get the villain edit, because you
hmm
have that angel edit, like you said, and then you have the villain edit for reality TV. So
yeah, where all they do
yeah,
is paint the bad of you. And another thing, one more thing about Love and Hip Hop before I move on to another show, is Love and Hip Hop Miami. So if you
hmm
watched how they did the production for Love and Hip Hop Miami, and then you watch the new season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, the one that just ended, there's a lot of similarities. The age groups. So they're starting to phase Mimi out, Stevie out. Jocelyn got moved to Miami. She was only on like 2 episodes. Out
2 episodes.
2 episodes. For what? Because she didn't finish her contract when she left the reunion last time, and it was like a 2 or 3 part reunion, and she walked off the set.
hmm
Because if you walk off the set, they're gonna fire you. Period. You buy your contract back. But so they did that, and then they moved on to moving. I think they are gonna try to phase Rashida and Kirk out because they were so accepting of the new baby. Like Rashida was so motherly about it. They're just like disgusted, toss, you know.
Listen, the only person who needs to stay that's an OG is Carly, old messy
Yeah,
A.
because she's the
I don't
only
know.
one
Can I
who.
cuss on here?
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, no, I'm not gonna cuss on here.
You can. It doesn't
No, but
matter.
Carly. Okay, I won't be like the S word or nothing, but
Okay.
Carly messy ass. She's that type of friend. She's the Sheree.
Mm-hmm.
Carly is Sheree. Sheree is Carly.
The
So
bone
you always
carrier.
need that one bone carrier in the season. So, honey, as long as Carly keeps spreading the mess and spread moving the storylines, because she moves the
Mm-hmm.
storylines around, honey. She shifts them.
I
So she
like I
gonna
like
always have a spot
Carly
on Love and Hip
just
Hop.
for mess. Carly just for mess. I do
Mm.
like Sierra on Atlanta just
I
because
like
Sierra,
Sierra. A lot of people don't like her. I like her with her
well, she
dramatic
has a lot of good
self.
business advice, and she's a good role model, which is what people don't really see, only because they saw that whole fight between she and Carly. But she's a good role model, and to me, she's what some of the younger females on the show need to be like, I don't have to always be like this. I can go get something for myself. I do like Tokyo. I feel like Tokyo should have been on more episodes because of the way that the
That's
reunion
true.
left off last time, how she was, in a relationship and all. We didn't get to see any of that. But I think Tokyo should have stayed. But I see how the two casts on each show, they're similar. So now we're getting into what is Love and Hip Hop doing anyway now? Because we had
You
the
know,
New York was so hard, hard, and then Atlanta was like,
yeah, like they had to kind of shut everything down due to COVID. So
mm-hmm,
I'm praying that they rebrand that whole show, because people are. I'm looking on social media, right? I keep my eyes to these streets. Well, I keep my ears to these streets, and people are
mm-hmm.
saying these streets that Love and Hip Hop has ran out completely. So it's
They
not
should just cancel
interesting
the
no
show.
more. It's
It's
not
no point
fun
in
no
having the
more like
show
it used to be.
anymore.
Yeah. I think that Love and Hip Hop kind of need to take the thing of Basketball Wives or The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, just have like a good amount of maybe like 6 or 7 main cast members. Have your little friends and extras, cast B members, but circle it around just those cast members. That's it, and have their storylines. Because what happens is in Love and Hip Hop, you will have a main cast member, but you won't really see their story that much on reality TV. You will see honestly more of like the Cass B stories. Like let's say Nikki Baby. Her last season, she wasn't even in 2 or 3 scenes of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Like we haven't really seen anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
of scenes of her. So Love and Hip Hop should definitely take notes from these other TV shows.
It's become a mess because they used to do that. They used to do that. Remember when I think it was Love and Hip Hop Atlanta where they had Arian on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Arian was a fan favorite. She was actually a fan favorite. Yeah. A lot of people liked Arian. But the thing is, like, I guess when, I don't know who was that Mimi was in a relationship with, and the girl had actually been with Arian too. I forgot her name.
Who you talking about?
The one that was on the, no.
Melissa?
Had to have been Melissa. The one that had the club, right? That had the club. And she was friends with Jocelyn too?
Yeah, that was Melissa, yeah.
Okay,
Melissa.
so
she had she was a stud.
Yeah. So I think when they got rid of Arian and then they kept Melissa, and then Melissa stayed that last season, that's when Jessica Dime had gotten in a fight. And then Melissa was gone too, because the reason being was because Mimi brought her storyline brought them both relevance to the show. And then when they found out that Arian and Melissa were together at some point, that just totally would have wiped Mimi completely off the show, because she didn't have a storyline after that. She was just eating and watching people fight. So they had to find out another way to keep her on the show. What better way than to get rid of the two people who literally almost could have taken her contract? So we never saw Arian or Melissa after that.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, Arian, we haven't seen her since season 5 of Love and Hip Hop. When she was about to go, she had on that helmet wig at the reunion. Remember? Because Jocelyn was about to fight everybody at the reunion, so they had to separate everybody and film differently in this house.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last season that we've seen.
Yeah, and that's the same season where they introduced Scrap and Tommy.
Yes.
And I was glad with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was mad when they took Tommy off the show, man. Yeah.
I can't. Yes, I was like, God dang! I guess production was just so sick of dealing with Tommy. Maybe she had a bad attitude or something. But
well, they said she had a problem.
Yeah.
But if she needs to get help, she needs to get help. But I do think.
You see. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think that they need to restructure the way that they place their cast. They need to do a completely different restructure. Maybe get rid of some people and put out an ad or something for new characters, because Love and Hip Hop is going completely. I mean, I didn't even watch New York's last season.
Yeah, it was, they tried to bring all the OGs back from the first 2 seasons of Love and Hip Hop, and it just did not work. I mean, people were still underwhelmed. They were still underwhelmed, and yeah.
But do you know, when we started watching Love and Hip Hop New York, the very first one, we were like teenagers. And so for us who watched that one, when they brought back the OG, it was like, oh, yes. Because that's what it was targeted for, to bring back all of those old viewers. In Atlanta, Miami, and Hollywood were to keep the more younger millennials. But you have us older millennials getting into our 30s. We're like, yes, yeah. Especially Hollywood. Because we're getting older and we see the old Love and Hip Hop cast. Love and Hip Hop, not even Love and Hip Hop New York. Love and Hip Hop season 1, Jim Jones, Chrissy, Yandy, Kimbella, all of them, Fab, all of them. So when they brought back the OGs, we were like, yes, oh, I can't wait. Oh, yeah.
But they just
When it dropped,
did not bring it. They did not bring it.
it was complete trash. So yeah.
I think that's the worst season of Love and Hip Hop New York was season 8. About 2-3 seasons ago when Lil Mo was on there. The season right after Cardi B left, that season was horrible. I remember they keep promoting it all over the place and like people they kept promoting it because nobody was watching it. I think that has been the most lowest ratings they had as well too.
You know, I miss when Ra Ali used to be a friend on the show.
Oh yeah, Rock kept the drama going. She
But
definitely did.
the thing is, back when all these shows were fresh and they had just came out, you would see Ra Ali pop up on Love and Hip Hop. Then she pops up on Real
Mhm.
Housewives. She was everywhere. You remember that time where I think who was that had I think it was Nene that was getting into an argument and Ra Ali was in the back, like you know, Riley
Yeah,
popped up
I remember
everywhere.
that. She's been
She
on
was
every show.
awesome. She been on every single show. That
She was on, like you said, she was on Basketball Wives, Get Into It with
Basketball
Jennifer. She
Wives.
was on,
Yep.
yeah. But she was on Black Ink Crew, Fighting Sky.
Yep. She was on all of it. I liked her highly because she
Yeah.
just couldn't keep her hands. She just had to be in front of the TV. But you had to have people like that. That's like you have to just have good like sub B cast members like Marlo from Real Housewives.
Mhm.
Like, you don't see Marlo on every show, but when you see her, she's always bringing something. She's always bringing receipts or.
Bringing something to the table. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what were your thoughts on the Real Housewives? How do you feel about this season?
I
Yeah.
didn't like it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. What'd you think?
It was just too much going. It was just like too much of nothing. Especially the Snake Gate. Oh my God,
Mm.
they done dragged that whole season out.
It was pointless. And I remember because I remember you did the video covering Real Housewives,
Oh yeah.
and that was really good because it helps you remember like all the funny times, all of like the cringy, like oh, ooh, like all of that when it came to Real Housewives. But it was kind of like a timeline. It was a picture that you painted with how it was then versus how it is now. Look at Portia Williams. Remember when Portia Williams was married to Cordell Stewart? And she was the
Oh
prim.
my God, she has transformed so much since that. Oh my goodness,
What do you think about
I
that?
feel like Portia had the Portia had the biggest glow up. I mean, even Andy said himself that they was gonna let Portia go. Like before the reunion of season 5, they was gonna let Portia go because they said that she wasn't being real. Until she did that speech at the reunion. She said, yes, I am married and we do love each other and we have our issues, but one day I want to have my children. And remember how she used to talk like that? Portia don't
Mm-hmm.
even talk the same no more. Her first season.
Mm-mm.
I said, to now, like Candy threw that shade up in when they was in Miami, she was just like, oh well, you know.
I think Portia, she showed how she really is, like she's just like at first she was and plus she was in a newlywed stage of being married. She was in still the honeymoon stage. So when they started having problems and it was getting really bad, it was really, really bad. And because she couldn't be
Mm-hmm.
herself, and now she is herself, but look what herself has gotten into. She was being transparent, but she literally like instead of her having a line like what it Kenya say, she's like no. When you have she didn't
Mm-hmm.
have a balance, so when she let people in, she fully blown let them in. She's like, and then look what happened to her between she and um whatever his name is.
That's true. That's you know what I'm proud of Portia though. I mean,
Mhm.
all through, I'm not here for her relationship with Dennis. I feel like that Portia has came a long way since being married to Cordell. I like the person that she has grown into. I'm proud of Portia. Portia is my girl. I feel like she would be a fun person to hang around.
Mhm.
And at the reunion, this recent reunion, hell, Portia made the show. She was drunk off that Henny. She was all talking to Eva, all up in the camera like this, like she was going in, and I was so here for it. Portia makes a good show. She's good
Mhm.
for TV.
I don't think Eva was good for TV.
Hell no, no,
She should have
no, no,
stayed on.
no.
She should have stayed on America's Next Top Model and been the host. Remember when they changed the host of America's Next Top Model? They should have made it be Eva, because she would do
Yeah.
this crazy thing like, I'm a sunflower.
You know
Sunflower.
what? Let's talk about
Like,
Eva.
what is
Eva
that?
was getting on my nerves at the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. I'm telling you, she's just not good for the show. Like you said, she's not good for the show. I feel like she was trying to redeem herself at the reunion with her little side marks, but it was not needed. She every time the other girls would say something, here she come. Oh yeah, like ain't nobody talking to you, Eva. Nobody's talking to you. You haven't. Eva has not had a storyline except being pregnant for season 12. That's it. She didn't have. She didn't bring anything. She did not bring anything at all. So I feel I let me tell you something. People feel like because I was looking at the comments that Layla and I was doing the video with. People feel like that I was bashing Eva. I was not bashing Eva. I like Eva. She's a great person. You know, she's good at what she do, which is modeling, but not being on. And you know, she could be good. She's a good actress. I think that
Mm-hmm.
she's good for TV, but not for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She do not fit in with these girls. She don't.
No, she's just Eva. I think there's a difference between throwing shade, like, saying just stuff, and you just like, oh, well, whatever, you know what it is. But she was throwing full blown darts,
And then
like
I don't recall acting like she didn't know what she was doing.
yes, like the whole
That
thing
what
with
makes it.
Candy, the whole thing with Candy when she said that stuff about Portia, she was like, she need to be worried about, all the stuff she could tell her about her man, da da da. And then she said that to Candy, but what Candy did, she was being a good friend by telling Portia, like, hey, this girl said she has dirt on you, and you just had a baby. Like, Portia was going through postpartum. And so I think
Mm,
Kenya was too. So like right after you have a baby, it's not really the time for you to be throwing even fun shade, because they take it so personal because their hormones are so high after they have children. So she said that, and then when it got brought up, she said, I didn't say that. And you know how Portia is. She said, so Candy's a liar? Candy ain't lied all season. She hasn't lied on any season she's been
Can,
on.
Candy was the bone carrier this season, but one thing between Candy and Sheree, Candy get her facts right.
She gets her facts right. Because Sheree, is that what I heard? She said, I heard you said something about, I heard something about licking box. She said, you said that I wanted Kim?
Girl, no,
That's
Sheree got
that's
caught
that
up in
Real
that messiness too.
Housewives. That's that Real Housewives then and now. Because them Real Housewives then and now, and Housewives last a whole bunch of years ago was nothing but lies. And now it's getting real. They didn't got Nene.
Yeah,
They gathered her. And I like Nene.
yeah. She
I like.
left. She left that reunion,
Mm-hmm.
and they did.
She
And
said,
look, Candy was ready for Nene ass too. She was ready.
oh yeah, she was. Oh yeah.
So
Candy, um, Kenya, all of them were
hmm
ready. They were just, but because they knew what Giovanna had said. I think that they knew what Giovanna had said before she went on the reunion and said it, because she made that post, remember? And she got them together
yeah.
because she told the truth. She said, yeah, Nene told me to report them. Do y'all not know that that is a crime? So if she
It
really
is.
had, if she really had Giovanna to record somebody, which I don't think she would have done that. But if she did, you just admitted to committing a serious crime on national television. Then
Yeah.
you said that she told you to do it. So how weak are you to say, you know what? Yes, I'm gonna do it. Even if that's your friend, a real friend would say, you know what? I don't think it's a good idea, and I don't care if we're really good friends. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And so Giovanna, I'm not to say that she was stupid or anything like that, but she's weak. She can't even stand up for herself. Was she scared of Nene? Even though y'all are friends, you still have to let your friend know what time it is. Just like how she told um how Cynthia and Nene used to get into it all the time way back in season 4, season 3. She and
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia, she'd be like, Cynthia, don't talk over me. You know, stuff like that. Or when Marlo got in Nene's face,
Yeah.
she said, why you don't want to be my friends? Because I'm friends with Kenya. Sometimes you have to let them know what time it is. Giovanna didn't say anything. She's like, yeah, see, Nene, I'll go record them. Now she could have ended up in jail. She
And
recorded.
that's why Giovanna, and at this, that's why Giovanna does not need to be on the show. She's a fan, and I made a recent video about Giovanna a few days ago. She's a fan who wants to get on the show and who wants to be a top person, wants to get a peach. But at this time, she's sabotaging herself because now the girls don't even want to film with her, and still, like,
Mm.
especially Candy. So now you're just looking stupid. And my thing is, Giovanna, you have lied before, so now you threw Nene under the bus. She threw her under the bus, honestly, and now you're trying to get back on the show with the
Mm-hmm.
girls. But everybody knew that you was lying. So I'm so over her.
I don't know what to say about. But you know what? The only reason why I think Giovanna is good for the show, because if you look at how who was that? Who was that? Had to be Kim. Well, you know how sometimes friends make cast members relevant. Just like remember when Eva first came to the show. And she said she didn't know Giovanna. And Giovanna was like, what do you mean? Like, you're friends with my best friend. Like, you know me. We went to the same school. Like, Giovanna was popular. And Eva said she didn't know her. But guess what? Giovanna was Eva's storyline. So, because Eva don't have a storyline. So Giovanna, does she deserve a peach? No. But does she deserve to be a Cast B member? Yes. Because she was Eva's
Okay, I can
storyline.
take that.
She was Eva's storyline, and that's why Eva is so messy. And then what happened when Eva said, I don't know her. She pulled the Mariah Carey, I don't know her. And then Eva got what she deserved when one of her bridesmaids said, oh yeah, she's broke.
Girl, when her
Oh, do
bridesmaid
you
said, I
not
said,
know
"Ooh,
her neither? Yep.
ooh, child, the girl code just went out that window.
It
Lord,
went clean out the
when she
window. And
said that, I was like,
she said, oh, I know who it was. Oh, you know who it is now, but you didn't know Giovanna. That's crazy. Giovanna hasn't done anything to you. This chick is over
mm-hmm.
here exposing you and your family
Yeah,
because you're married to somebody who's running for office. It was just crazy.
yeah. The housewives, man, them girls are just something else. I tell you, I mean, I just can't.
I like
I just
the
cannot.
Housewives franchise as a whole because they have many different locations, but they have had the same cast for years. Like you said before, the way that they have it set up is no matter how old they get, no matter who they bring on the show, those 7 women have been there since season 1 or whenever they came on that season, they've still been there. Shoot, I think even
Listen,
Portia and Kenya been on Real Housewives since what, season 5?
you can consider them age OGs now because they've been on
Yeah.
there, like you said, season 5. You had Nene, and then Candy came in season 2. Cynthia came in season 3. Portia and Kenya came in season 5, and then you have Eva.
Who just got there.
Mm-hmm.
Still fresh. Shoot, Marlo been on the show longer than Eva.
Marlo been there since season 4, on and
Marlo,
off. But
Marlo's
she's
been
been
on the show.
consistent. She's been a consistent friend since season 10, I believe. Yeah.
And that's good. That's the then and now. Like they still have generally the same cast that they've had for years. So they're always going to keep those same viewers, the same people watching, because why not? We've seen them when they were nobodies. We're like, who in the world is Nene Leakes? In season 1, who is this person? Who is Sheree? Oh, she was married to somebody who played football? Who was that? We didn't know who these people were.
Yeah. We didn't.
No, but I mean, Kenya Moore, I thought she was an actress when she first came to the show. I said, oh, I remember her from somewhere. And they said she was Miss USA. I was like, she was.
This is how, and this is no shade, but this is how I remember seeing Kenya. I was looking, me and my ex at this time, we was looking at this movie, honey. It was in the Walmart section under the $5 and under DVDs, and when we got the DVD, I was like, it was a low budget film with what's that, Boris Kodry? What's his name? Boris. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Boris Kojo, David Banner.
Yeah, Yes, and then Kenya Moore was in that video, and I was like, "Oh, okay," because I heard about her name, but I didn't know who it was. I was like, "Oh, this is Miss America or Miss Miss USA." So I was like, "Okay, girl, let me stop being shady because these Kenya fans gonna drag the fuck out of me."
They're gonna be upset, but that is crazy. I'm gonna take you all the way back though. Exhale. She was in Waiting to Exhale.
I know she was in Waiting to Exhale and Deliver Us from Eva as well, playing the villain. So yeah, she plays the villain very well. She plays a good role. She really does. No shade.
I don't like how she did the whole thing where she was just dragging everybody. That's what I'm saying. I think Kenya, I'm no doctor, but she struggled with something after she had her baby. Because what drives you to be mad at everybody, to be messy, like gonna ruin Cynthia's engagement? I think he's gonna propose. Who says that?
Yeah, no.
Like,
you don't do that.
She said, I wouldn't do that. I didn't have any like ill will. Yes, you did. Because Kandi told you that he was gonna propose. And then the first thing you do is when she walks through the door, I think he's gonna propose. It's ridiculous. But moving on from Real Housewives, I want to talk about growing up hip hop. Where do you think that started?
Let's talk about it. Growing up hip hop. Yes. So what's up with growing up hip hop and they foolishness?
Yeah, it's crazy to see how they've evolved, because Romeo and Angela came up with this whole concept, this whole show. And throughout the time, you just see them break apart, they split apart. Now, they haven't changed. To me, they just haven't changed. They just went different routes. They just went their own way. Like life happens and they went their own way. Now, when it comes to some other cast members, I'm going to tell you right now, I like Brianna for this show. I do.
Me too.
I've always liked her on that show.
And people hated Brianna in the earlier seasons. I always liked Brianna.
I've always liked her for this show. She's made for that. She's made for that. I like Egypt for the show. I don't like Sam for the show. And I don't even know where he came from. Because back in season 1, they barely showed his face. Now he's talking about he got a seat at the table.
Clout chasing at its finest. I don't listen. Yeah, you and me both. We both watched from season one, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have Angela. Angela has been there, and Romeo, of course, OGs. Egypt is an OG as well. Brianna did not come into season two.
Mm-hmm.
But and Damon Dash, Boogie, he's been there since season one.
Yeah, he's good for the show
So when
too.
it comes to yeah, yeah, I like Damon. Damon is the homie. But when it comes to Egypt's storyline, I feel like that Egypt. She needs a break from the show
Oh yeah.
because it's so much drama within Sam, and Sam is toxic. You can see the toxic. You can see the toxic all over the TV screen. Yeah, you can see it all over the TV screen.
He whistled at that girl and then gonna say they got mad because I did the same call that her dad does. Well, you keep that in house. You don't whistle at somebody in public. He probably doesn't whistle at her in public.
Yeah, that ain't it.
And then what her dad does
No,
is not the same thing as what you should do.
and it sucks because like I don't want to say this. I'm gonna say allegedly. I feel like that he is allegedly abusing her because when you look at Pepper, her mother, she was abused by her dad Trench
Mm-hmm.
allegedly. And generational curses tremble down. So you can only imagine, if she see her mother and dad as a child going through that, she most likely will repeat the same mistakes. And you can see it with Sam.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's abuse or Stockholm syndrome. I don't know.
Hmm.
I think it's crazy for her to get in her first fight and then here he is like, like,
Messy,
yeah, I
messy
said you're lucky they didn't let
queen,
Brianna
honey.
go because Brianna would have ripped her apart on TV,
Hmm.
cameras and all. Should have been like, cut those cameras off. You're
Brianna's
lucky she
about
didn't
that
do.
life.
Yeah, she's about that life. I said he's rooting. You're lucky she didn't get loose and get on Sam, because she's tough. So I just
Yeah,
think where growing up hip hop started, but I can tell you this: when it started, it was boring.
it was because I think Romeo and Master P had the main storyline.
The show was so boring. Growing up hip hop, it was really boring before.
The show was boring. I think that really bringing Brianna on was a really good choice. I also like Little Twist. Little Twist is funny as hell on there. I don't know if you know this,
Yeah.
but they do need a shake up. I mean, Angela, she's cool, but her attitude just be turn me off sometimes. And I feel like that she's not that much of an interesting person to be on reality TV.
hmm
I'd rather see Vanessa on there. And then JoJo does too much for me.
Yeah. Um, when it comes to those three, you know,
I mean, it's their
I
show, so they ain't gonna do it. But
it is their show, but like they're cut from a different cloth than a lot of
hmm
us. And what really had me was that because I've never thought of Angela to be like this rah rah like hard person, you know.
hmm
And
she's not.
so when it came to that, let's see, not the show that came on last night, but when they came on last week, she's like, I'm about to walk out. He's being disrespectful, yo. Da, 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 da. Like,
Hmm.
you know, us, we not gonna do all that. Where you at? We riding out, or
Exactly.
y'all gonna sit here and keep talking? Because he said something about my family. Okay.
Okay.
And I would have got up. So it was JoJo. JoJo said, I was sitting right there and nobody said nothing. Let's play the package back. Because when Master P
Okay.
came out there, you wasn't saying nothing.
Run that back.
Yeah, run the whole package back. Because that was just crazy. That was ridiculous. He said nobody saying Number one, nobody was there. No one who had
Mm-hmm.
anything to do with that conversation was present at the time. So you was talking about everybody behind their back. And then when
Pretty
Master P
much.
came out there, he heard the slick stuff that was going on. He saw how JoJo was walking back and forth and doing all this. And, so he said,
Like
what's up?
he
Like, what's
about
going on?
that life, boy. Sit your gutter mouth ass down somewhere.
Yeah. Like, that was just
Or
crazy. That was just crazy. So I think that you know what, why it's like that though?
why?
Because we saw them when we were in middle school on Run's House. And they were always these playful
Yeah.
kids, always doing what kids do. And now that they're adults, they want us to take them seriously. We still see you like you were on Run's House doing Fat Farm and
There you go.
you
Yeah.
know
Dang,
pastry.
Ron's house. That's the throwback, man.
Yeah. We
But
still see
shit.
them like that. So when we see them like trying to be hard and stuff, we're like, who is that? We've never seen that person. But then when
Mm-hmm.
you see somebody, you see somebody like Little Twist, you be like,
Yeah.
he about to tear it down. Remember when Sam came at him? He said, I don't know you.
It's
I said, well, it's about to pop off at this man's party.
about to go down.
Everybody clear the room. Get out. But it's just, growing up hip hop it was never, I don't think it was a show where you would just be so excited. You anticipated it coming on before. Now it's like, doesn't love it not loving hip hop, but growing up hip hop, like, doesn't it come on? Like, isn't it coming on tonight?
You know,
Because you want to see the
one
drama.
thing with growing up hip hop, yeah. I liked growing up hip hop from the beginning. Like you said, it was boring, but at the same time, I just liked it because I felt like it had substance to it. Now, this recent season, it just gotten too damn much for me. Like team too much. These storylines seem so fabricated. Like Master P said, they keep trying, producers are keep trying to make this thing between Romeo and Angela happen, and it's not going to happen. They need to dead that. Move on to a new storyline, a new topic, and let
Mm-hmm.
that go. Romeo
Mm-hmm.
and Angela do not like each other, and they're just good, meant to be friends. And it sucks because now, once again, reality TV breaking up a friendship.
Yep. Authentic relationship too. And then
Yep, they've been
since
friends.
they broke up, they're trying to bring Bow Wow on.
And let me tell you something about himself. Bow Wow needs to just go on back to him and JoJo, because JoJo been on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, Growing Up Hip Hop New York, and Bow Wow been on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. Why are you coming to the original Growing Up Hip Hop, sir? And I'm not trying to like bash him because he's a really great actor and he's good at what he do. But bro, like leave the loving hip hop. I mean, leave the growing up hip hops alone. You
Mm-hmm.
look a fool the last season of Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta with that fight, that domestic violence
He
situation with
looked a
that
fool in
girl that's on
season
now.
two. When Johnny Blaze had went off. Remember that time when Johnny Blaze destroyed So Def, the studio? She went through there knocking stuff down. She was upset because he tried to play her. And just like I said,
Yeah.
we are so used to seeing some of these people just be so calm and like kids and stuff like that. But we knew Johnny Blaze. We knew Johnny Blaze back from Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop, the first one, before they switched to New York. And then
Mm-hmm.
we knew Johnny Blaze from when she moved down to Houston and tore it up. Now
Yeah.
you think,
Yes.
remember, everybody loved Johnny Blaze. And then when she moved to Atlanta, you think she's not going to be that same person? She's that same person. Y'all tried it when y'all put that camera in front of her, expecting her to act different because it's Bow Wow. She does not care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
She snatched a whole girl
Yeah.
in the club on Love and Hip Hop and did not care, and then mocked her afterwards. Johnny Blaze does
Yeah.
not care
She
about
did.
cameras, so you can't expect
She
her to
aggressive.
act a certain way.
That's right. That's all right, man. Woo. You ain't lying about that. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
That's just like a little twist. You can't expect him to act a certain way because cameras are there. I'm pretty sure if no one was at his house, him and Sam would have been fighting
Yeah, for
because
sure.
that's
It
where
would
he
have been on
was.
site.
As soon as Sam started talking, he turned around and he looked, and Eric walked up to him, looked, everybody got silent. Because we knew what was about to happen. He's not the type of person that's going to sit there and talk.
Mm-hmm.
Sam should be off the show.
That's
Cast
true.
B member, boo.
Speaking of We TV, which is Grown Up Hip Hop, and is on. You know that Phaedra's coming back. Phaedra's coming back to Marriage Boot
Marriage
Camp.
boot camp.
Yes, it airs in July. I believe July the 6th or some child. It airs in July, and she will be on there. So that will be very interesting. I'm actually going to be reviewing the show. Remember back in the day when I used to review those TV shows, like
Yeah.
all the shows back in the day? I'm gonna review that. I'm gonna review that. That would be cute every Thursday. That will be my one reality show I review.
That's good.
Yeah.
The thing about Phaedra is Phaedra was so Southern Belle, you know. And as soon as she divorced Apollo, she's like, "Rah, rah, rah."
Right.
And
She didn't know. Phaedra was cutting up, but see, she lost viewers when that whole situation that happened between her, Candy, and Portia, and now people are not really receptive as her coming back to reality TV because people feel like that she still haven't had an explanation or did an X out scene with
why
Phaedra.
can't she just say, I did it because I don't like you?
Okay, seriously.
That's what she should have said. Just like how Nene was said about Kim not wanting to come on the trip. She said, why don't you say that you don't want to come because I don't want to?
Yeah.
And they would have respected that more than you lying talking about, I'm too far along. Blah, blah, blah. Just like Phaedra. I lied because I don't like you and I wanted to hurt your feelings because I was hurt. You hurt my feelings as a friend by having Apollo's new fiance come to your opening, and I was mad, and I spreaded rumors about it.
You don't.
That was crazy. And then lastly, I want to talk about, I don't know if you keep up with it, but Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
You know what? I don't watch that show, but I do watch the clips. But I'm all game for it because I see the BS 3 miles away. So what's up? What's up?
Yeah. So back when they first started, you know how the show, yeah, I think it was a good show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a good show to show like just basic what families go through every day, you know. But then it started getting out of hand when who was that? With Lamar Odom, when he and Chloe got married and that whole debacle happened about him being on drugs and having women in the house and all that stuff. It just got way out of hand. I think they should have cut the show that season and said, hey, we're just gonna cancel it. And then on top of that, Kim's behind keeps growing larger and larger, and then she keeps saying it's not fake. We're over the lies.
And
Also,
they're all getting surgeries and stuff like that. Yeah.
and it's just Courtney quit. She had not quit, but she like took a little break from the show recently, and then they said, I don't know if you watched the very first episode of the newest season, but they got into a fight, like a real fight.
Yeah, I saw that. Girl, the social media took that. They took that and just ran with it. They really got into it. I said, now y'all in y'all 40s fighting like this. Ain't they in their late 30s, early 40s?
Yep.
They need to not do this.
That was just stupid. And then Chloe was the only one. Well, Chloe and Kendall, but Chloe was the only one who said, like, are y'all okay? Like, this is not how sisters fight. I said, no, that's not how y'all fight. Because a lot of us who have siblings, we know what time it is. When it's on, it's on.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, they go and they watch shows like The Real World, Love and Hip Hop, Real
Mm-hmm.
Housewives, and
I don't know what Kim was
they
drinking
see
up
that
in
and
that
they
cup,
trying to
but sis didn't know how to act.
no. And then Courtney slapped the girl's makeup off on the wall. Then they're like, she slapped
Yeah.
her so hard. Don't do that. Like, she should have slapped her. I would have slapped her face off just because it's just so crazy. You expect somebody to do that? She threw a water bottle at Kim, kicked her, and then when Kim got up, she said, "Don't do that. Don't do that." Now we know Courtney is as soft as they come, but we know Kim used to roll with Paris Hilton and them. She used to always be up in the clubs. She used to always
Yep.
be hanging out with all those rah-rah people. We know Kim knows it's time. She knows what time it is when somebody starts doing stuff like
You
that.
know what
And
time
I
it
guess
is. Yeah.
Courtney thought she was going to be able to get away with it and that Kim wasn't going to do anything. But Kim hit her and then Courtney got shocked. She went into shock and she just started fighting back. But I still, when Courtney hit her back, she hit her head into
I
the
can't
wall.
wait for the Kardashians to end, but girl, I'm so sick of them darn Kardashians. I just want them to end, but they're not gonna end until season 691. I mean, they're gonna keep going, and I feel like that Kardashians also own a part of media, so they ain't going nowhere. But I'm just so sick of them. Like, ugh, like like they're cool to watch and everything, but at the same time, man, like it's the stories. I'm just still mad at Chloe over the whole Jordan Woods situation with Tristan Thompson. That's what I'm still pissed off about because you done sit here and y'all done sit here blackball this young lady, but then you only for you end up to take Tristan back. Okay, great.
That whole thing
So
was
no.
just stupid. That whole thing,
hmm
because they tried to make it seem like Jordan Woods was a homewrecker. Let's just be real here. Tristan Thompson was a known cheater. A lot of those basketball players, a lot of these professional players, they do stuff all the time.
hmm
So at first, like, why, as soon as it happened, why don't you act? You've known her since she was a kid. Why not just ask
Yeah.
her, like, what happened? Like,
Awful. Trying to
mm-mm.
save face. That's what it is. All for publicity. Like she just did all of that for that. Like no.
It was stupid. And I like how
Yeah.
Jordan Woods did the red table talk because that saved her image.
It did. Yes, it really did.
It saved her
Yes,
image.
because they was gonna blackball the hell out of her, honey. Jordan who?
They said,
Jordan
cut
was
it.
about to
We're gonna cut
disappear
off
out the
all the
air.
cosmetics that she does. We're gonna cut off any TV show that she's on. We're gonna, because you know that they probably have some type of say in what gets put on TV.
They do, absolutely, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jenner has like really like media connection
But
ties.
is there
It
anything
is.
else that you would like to add, or would you like to tell people where they can find you in your content?
Yeah, so guys, just be sure to follow me at Josiah's World TV. I am working on weeks of content, so there's going to be content every other day, and it's just going to be like different content as far as like your favorite black shows and black TV content, celebrity news, reality TV news. So all for you entertainment junkies, black pop culture junkies, just definitely check that out. Josiah's World TV on YouTube, and also the same name under my Instagram as well, Josiah's World TV.
All right, cool. Also, I will be posting the link down below just in case you guys need the direct link to get to all of your social media. I will post that below. And be sure to follow me at Keya Collie. And you will be able to view this on YouTube. You will be able to listen to this podcast on all major podcast platforms, as well as Instagram TV and my website, Keya Collie. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can contact me at keyacollie.com, and be sure to purchase the ebook that came out on June 1st.
Yes, congratulations! I know
Thank
you're
you.
gonna do a
Thank
vlog
you.
about that, right? Your ebook.
Oh, yeah, of course. We're gonna see how it comes out first, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, that's
Yes.
going to be it for this episode. This is your host, Keya. Thank you for tuning in.